Yo, it's good. 12 Podcast, episode number 2. We have some new people in the house. This is our third take on this because we just fucked up all the audio. But we actually have a production crew in the house. Just got some new people in. Lauren, do a quick introduction. I know this is the second, third time you said this, but go ahead. Tell them who you are.
Hey everybody, my name is Lauren. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I'm new here on the podcast. I'm really happy to be here. But yeah, that's just a little about me.
See that? Somebody's actually happy to be here. That's one of those. Anyway, yeah, Lauren's going to be like our showrunner and producer. She's going to be handling all the ins and outs of the podcast. Make sure she keeps all of us in check, whether we have 2 or 3 of us on here. But yeah, let's just jump into it. We're gonna be very topic driven this week. So, like we were talking about before everything got messed up, the freaking Drake lawsuit, it's real, it's in effect. It looks like he's blaming the whole music industry for him being a pedophile. He hates LeBron James. He hates LeBron James' family, apparently. He's trying to destroy that. He doesn't like Kendrick Lamar, of course, and he doesn't like his record label, who gave him almost $500 million in 2018 to just rap about stuff that other people wrote. What do you think, Sean?
Wow, that's a very interesting way of describing all of that. But no, I think, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, that it's uphill battle at the end of the day. I mean, I think, the fighting the record label, the legal team that they have at their disposal, any type of legal battle that you get into against a behemoth, so to speak, you're running a losing battle. Like the guy that, you ever see that movie, the guy that did the windshield wipers and he went against Ford because they took his patent. I forgot what it was called, but it was a movie about that, where he created windshield wipers, had the patent, and then tried to challenge him. I think he ended up with $50,000.
I think that's something.
Well, yeah, it's something. But if you think about it, right, and what you're actually trying to have ownership or some stake in what you created, and Drake may be victim of losing that if he keeps trying to play this game with the record labels. You saw they took down his freestyle. He put it out there. And he was like, nope, that's not happening. So at this point, he can't release any music. He probably can't do any real visuals. That's why he's hopping on all the streaming stuff right now, right? Because they basically beat to their own horn. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm kind of exhausted with the Drake Kendrick thing. It's like the longest lasting beef I've ever seen ever. It just, at this point, it's just kind of like overly saturated. There's no more music coming from it. It's just,
Did they really have a beef? I think mainly it's kind of one of those things where the creative's hubris gets in the way. Like I felt like Drake's in a weird space where, he at one point he could do no wrong. Sure. And now he can't do anything right because he's so jaded by this. But I saw this interesting like piece, which I should have sent to y'all, but like how they put him in this beta male like category, meaning if you think about like how he's carried himself, like he's always kissing up to like more talented people, and he got LeBron James and Steph Curry tattooed on his body. I'm pretty sure he got Nick's name tattooed on his body somewhere, like on his ass cheek or something. So it's like, you got to think, just because like the man's like always just been good, but not good enough. But he's like the biggest rapper at one point. Like he destroyed Meek Mill's in a battle. Meek Mill from the streets, You know what I'm saying? Like all this crazy stuff that he was doing during his run, 15 years, like just nobody, but working with all these artists, giving all these freebies out. But then like little old Kendrick Lamar, who's not even that good. Like I don't even understand why Kendrick Lamar is in conversations for certain things, but I just don't like his voice. I'm not a fan at the end of the day. Lauren, you look like a Kendrick Lamar fan. You a Kendrick Lamar fan?
I like them. I like them equally. Is my camera good?
Yeah, you fine. Yeah.
I feel like it's moving slow, but I like them both equally. Yeah, I never really got deep on the beef or anything, but I still enjoy both of their music. So I'm just
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a Kendrick fan. I think everybody has their run. I mean, Drake has what you said, 15 years. I mean, damn, everybody has their
still in the streets when Drake was popping. Like, man, we was there for it. Like, you was. I mean, we seen, we was there. Yeah, we seen him come up, so we enjoyed the moment. But it was weird because as time went on, like his music, I would say the last 3 years, his music hasn't been that relatable to me. So I don't really listen to it like I used to. But he still caters to an audience that likes it. And obviously the production, the melodies, the hooks, all that shit still pops off in the club, right? So it's like, I just feel like he doesn't, like, the run obviously has to end somewhere, but it didn't end gracefully. It's not like they, like he got, they
generally,
sunk that boat.
the end is called the end, and it has the negative connotation to it mostly because it never ends gracefully. The end, like the end is typically not really. It doesn't.
I mean, look, Jay-Z and Nas, they did a beef and nobody got. Actually, they got better afterwards, right?
But it kind of did end gracefully for Nas. Nas ended up having to go work for Jay-Z basically, right? Jay-Z was president, Def Jam had to, was messing with him on the release dates and all. I don't know.
Really, they did that.
Yeah, it was kind of funny style. And then DMX and Jay-Z, how Jay-Z did DMX when he was on the label, and was kind of pushing his stuff back and all that. I don't think anything ends great. And look, DMX had 3 platinum albums in a year, 18 months.
But he didn't call DMX a pedophile. He didn't call him trying to destroy the man's aura.
Well, that's Grace.
There was no beef. Yeah. There was no beef there. I mean, it's like, it's one thing to be saying like you look like a camel or whatever Nas was saying versus what Jay was saying, and there's some truth to a lot of the things they did in those battles. But like to go and just, I feel the defamation thing is real if he was a private citizen.
Yeah, but look at where we are in this day and time. I mean, look at all this shit on social media. Look at how people act towards each other just in general. Like, that's normal. Calling somebody a pedophile. That's like normal shit now. Like back in the day, I'm gonna punch you in the face, right? Back in the day, right? Oh, I'm gonna stomp on you. Then it was the gunplay and everything. Everything came in, drill music, all this. Now everything is assassinate your character because social media allows you to do that. All you have to do is put something out there, and
they catch a picture of you hugging your little niece, and then they say you're a pedophile. It's crazy. Like, that's why, bro. I don't do social media like I used to, man. It's wild out there in the streets. You can't. These people just take anything and turn it into something.
Oh, dude, with AI as well. AI, forget.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's gonna be some deep fakes, all crazy type of shit. But like, yeah, I feel like Drake's gonna be fine. It's so. I'm curious to see how the record industry falls, because we in that marketing space. We have to help with some of the tactics that they were using to help Drake is Kendrick Lamar are the same exact tactics that they might hire us to do, maybe in some cases, or any other entity out there. So if the books ever get opened up, it's going to be an interesting time to look at how the industry operates. I mean, it's no different than radio payola and all that stuff they used to run the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just blessed that like sometimes working with the labels we work with, they don't go to those links where they like fake streams and shit like that. I haven't seen any of that yet, but if it does happen, where they start investigating more, it's going to tear down a lot of things. And then hopefully, a guy like Drake can be independent and just do his own thing, which would be great, because then he doesn't have to hit these high standards. And if everything's on equal plane, like who's good, who's as good? Like there's no rappers out. Like, what are we listening to nowadays? I don't even know what's good right now. You know what I mean? There's a couple little things, but nothing crazy that's out there. So I don't know. It's going to be a drawn out talk, but I feel like both sides can be good. I don't particularly think that Kendrick is going to be in a better space at any time soon. Right now, it looks like it's where that effect is wearing off. I just saw a couple of social media posts. It could be lies that a lot of the shows on this next tour that he's doing with SZA aren't even sold out yet, and tickets are not being discounted, but they're just out there still. So if that's the case, then like, did UMG, was mission accomplished? Did Kendrick get any better? Like, didn't his last tour like sell out? Like, so I think that's a lie. I don't know if it's, maybe he's just touring in the wrong places. I have no fucking clue, but we'll see how it goes. Next year is going to be a big year. Hopefully, both these guys, or Drake, hopefully he bounces back, puts out some real good records, and that's that. Sports. I looked. This might be a topic right up your alley. I noticed Scotty Pippen just did the PBD podcast. So shout out to Patrick Bet David. His podcast is interesting. Patrick Bet David's a big Trump guy. interesting personality. He runs a bunch of pyramid schemes, total scammer. Totally understand why he would like a guy like Trump, but he had Scottie Pippen on there, and apparently they got really deep into the whole the rings thing, and apparently Scottie Pippen is the greatest basketball player of all time, according to Scottie Pippen, and he's better than LeBron. So if he's better than LeBron, that makes LeBron 2 and Jordan 3. So Pippen's 1.
Yeah, okay.
All right, and
that's where you fall off the rails. We need to put the trainer.
The exact. I mean, did you watch that clip I sent you? Where you were talking about?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, Scottie Pippen. Think about the situation where Scottie Pippen's coming from, right? Scottie Pippen lost his girl to his arch nemesis' son, right? Like, I mean, it's like enough said.
Future, probably Drake too. They probably ran a 2-man on her.
Yeah, it's just like Scottie Pippen has been so just thrown in, and then obviously with the documentary that had come out, Last Dance and all that, I mean, Scottie Pippen has just been trying to prove himself left and right. He's a great basketball player, the top 50 all time and all that, I mean, great defender, has 6 championships just like MJ and all that. But I think sometimes, man, it gets to a point where, and I don't understand this part of it, but when you get bitter and you in a certain position, but I heard he had filed for bankruptcy or something, so maybe that's why. But at a certain point, you just got to move on and just enjoy everybody. I'd be happy for everybody. Who cares? But he's trying to prove how good he was. He's better than LeBron. And I mean, come on, bro. Nobody's checking for you as far as basketball. Right? He doesn't come up in the top. Yeah, he doesn't come up in all time. He's an all time great player, but he doesn't come up in conversation like that. So
he does all the time, bro. What you live in that Jordan bubble?
No,
he was one of the greatest 2-way players of all time.
No, I'm saying, but he doesn't come up how we talk about players. If you talk about players now, you talk about new age players, or you talk about the old age players, but you don't bring up Scottie Pippen, old age players. People bring up
who do they bring up?
Isaiah
Thomas.
Yeah. People bring up Isaiah. People bring up
obviously
MJ Olajuwon comes up a lot. I mean Shaq. Shaq comes up. He was on the tail end, but Shaq played during. But I'm talking about when people come up about promoting somebody about how their dominance and all this and that. People talk about and the problem is because he was number 2 on his team. If you're number 2 on your team, you're not going to be talked about with number 1s. I mean, that's just.
And he was right there. Scottie Pippen.
Yeah,
I feel like he was just as popular. I mean, he was popular as the team. When you think about when they had Rodman and all those guys, Rodman was very popular in the league at various points, right? Yeah. So I don't think what you're saying is valid.
He was number 1.
You're just
Jordan the number 1. But he wasn't the number 1 player.
What does number 1 mean? It doesn't mean shit. There's guys is LaMelo Ball the best player in the league? He's one of the most popular.
All right, so let's talk about so let's talk about like this. Your top 5 NBA players are who? No, I'm just saying. Just no order. Just top 5. No order.
Clyde Drexler. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what's the top 5?
I forgot. Didn't I give you that list a while back?
No, I'm just saying.
I forgot, but I'll just say 5. Okay, I'll say.
Okay.
And I think Jordan cracked my top 5, but I don't have the list in front of me. Okay. But LeBron, I can't remember. Was it LeBron? No, I'm just kidding. I can't remember my top 5 off the top of my head, but I know.
So let me ask you this question.
LeBron, Shaq. Hold on. Okay. LeBron, Shaq, Kareem, fucking Shaq, Kareem. Oh my God. I had such a solid list too. I have to dig it up, but Jordan's in there too. Maybe 4
Let me
or
ask you a
5.
question.
Yeah.
Who's the best number 2 player on a team all time for you? Scottie Pippen, that's your best all time number 2. So number 2, not the number 1 go to. Number 2, you would say Scottie Pippen's the best all time number 2 player of all time.
I think so. Yeah, he propped up Jordan very well. Yeah.
So when Magic Johnson played with Kareem, and Kareem was the man on that team, you're gonna say Magic. You're gonna say Scotty better than Magic.
At that time, maybe, yeah. No. Magic was still a rookie.
Magic, Magic had a triple double. He had a triple double in the finals.
Yeah, Magic.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, Magic
got hurt.
Yeah, at that moment in time, Magic was a better number 2 than Scottie Pippen.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think in general, But whenever, but the Magic ascended.
But Magic won.
Magic ascended.
Yeah,
number one.
but what did he do? He won a lot without Kareem, right? How many times did he win without Kareem?
He won
maybe 3, 2 or 3,
because he has 5. So yeah.
How many times has Jordan won without Pippen?
How many times Jordan won without Pippen? That's irrelevant.
No, see
That's
what he
irrelevant.
does, Lauren. See what he does?
No,
That's irrelevant. What I'm talking about. I don't know if you ever see grown men fight about this basketball shit, but this is the dumbest shit I ever heard. He literally just said, "Oh, it's irrelevant that Jordan never won without Pippen." But Kareem is still great, even though he didn't. Though Magic's not as great as Jordan because he never.
I tell you, he won gold medals without Pippen. He won a national championship without Pippen. Okay,
no, that don't matter.
What did Pippen win without Jordan? Where are the national championships? Where are the gold medals? What gold medals?
Playing a bunch of college kids. Number one, number two.
College kids.
College because look, you either suck or you don't. Not professional basketball, right? 1% of those college kids make it to the league, bro. 1%.
He was a winner all throughout his whole career. College.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
It has to do with everything. He won in general. Scottie Pippen was a winner in college. He didn't win a national championship. He didn't win gold medals.
He still made it to the NBA. That's what matters.
But he wasn't being picked. He wasn't being picked.
LeBron skipped all the way to the NBA. Won chips. Did everything. Did everything in the league.
All right. Well, Scottie Pippen. I would not put Scotty. All my top all time great players, top 10. They were the man on the team. They were they were the go-to. They were the ones that you knew that was the man on the team. There was no question about it. So, I don't have Scottie Pippen in my top 10. I don't have Scottie Pippen in my top 10. You don't know what top 10.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have. Maybe I do.
Okay. Well,
maybe Sue. I don't remember. But you're saying that you can't.
He was right there with Jordan. You said he's right there with Jordan.
No, I'm saying he was right there winning with Jordan. But that's the only way Jordan can win.
Players ever in
that's the only way Jordan can win is with Pippen.
Okay, so how is he right there with Jordan and you don't have him in your top 10? If he's right there with Jordan, he's got to be in your top 3, top 4.
What is that? No. What?
Yes, you said he's right there with Jordan. I said
he won. He won with Jordan, right?
He was right there.
Jordan needed him more than Pippen needed him. Jordan.
Talk about the next topic.
Staying on this bullshit. Nah, because this man doesn't. He makes no sense.
She gets no sense. She knows what I'm talking about.
It makes no sense when he like, or I don't know, Laura. You follow sports? Are you a sports person?
I don't at all.
Okay. No. We're gonna start.
Actually, this will be. Since you don't follow sports, you and Hugh will connect well on this. When we
yeah. This has got to be. He doesn't be making up shit. He'll do anything to say his Lord and Savior, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
You said
he'll just make up any excuse.
Right
oh, Jordan, out here killed his dad and shit. That's okay. Jordan can kill whoever he wants. Jordan's a gender gambler and beats his wife. That's fine. It's okay to beat your wife. They're the best. These are all things that that Jordan is supposedly done, allegedly. Yeah. I never said he did them. I just heard about it on the internet. But they don't say that shit about LeBron. I mean, maybe. Okay, say it. Do you believe? No, I don't believe the DJ Academics bullshit. But I mean, it's all subjective. Anywho, yeah, you're right. Let's keep it moving. But Scottie Pippen is legit an insane person at this point. You're right.
Oh yeah,
he's not in his right mind. How are you gonna say you're better than LeBron? And just because you got 6 rings, so that means like Bill Russell and everybody, everybody, like Robert Ory's better than you then, Scotty, because he won 7, right?
Yeah,
stupid motherfucker. Anyway, so. Election is over, right? I mean, obviously, we just had the inauguration, which was interesting. Nothing crazy besides, a bunch of Nazi salutes and a bunch of rednecks in the Capital One Center. Trump dropped the cryptocurrency, which I
did you see the Reverend dropped a cryptocurrency? The one that
yeah, I saw that.
The Reverend, yeah. Man, this is the new hustle. This is a new dope game.
$1 million in, and motherfuckers is making millions of dollars. Trump, they said he might have come up on about $20 billion off this crypto.
Oh yeah. Yo, it's easy. Everybody. Look, one day you're gonna be able to use it for something. I promise you. But I'm gonna take your money and use that money for stuff I need to do right now. But one day with crypto,
that shit's just sitting somewhere. Trump ain't gonna. He ain't gonna do nothing. But it's interesting how. Our government, I saw some interesting anecdotes about this when it came to like how they the Dems were marketing Trump, and it is that boy who cried wolf syndrome. He was screaming he was a fascist for 4 or 5 years. Through his thing, you tried to not persecute, but indict him and do all this shit, try to put him in jail, whatever. Obviously he had opposition that didn't make it happen. Arguably he should be in jail. I feel like all the things that he blatantly did to disrupt democracy and cheat the government and from the campaign finance crap to prostitutes, all that stuff. So, but he was winning, right? Because his base is strong. Our government is, Democrats are a bunch of cucks. So there's no reason to even deal with that. Most of them are going to be out of here by next term, hopefully, if we make it through the next thing.
Yeah, I saw some rumor Obama and Michelle was get.
They get a divorce. Yeah, supposedly. I mean, that could be because he's Obama's an interesting guy, and he's out in them streets. So I could say he's from Chicago too, man. They be he probably got a little something on the side, and that unflattering picture he put up was not right. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't do that, especially let me get the right light. I mean, you all seen that picture?
I saw that. I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a terrible. It was. I think it was their anniversary or something.
You know, so fully about the
Can you please pull it up?
I will. All right, keep talking.
No, but what was so funny while you're looking that up is about the what you said about Crook, and all this and that, and it's so funny because I told you I've been watching a bunch of Ali old Malcolm X radio interviews, Ali panels he was on and stuff for different shows, and just like the fight that our athletes and stuff used to have, and just sort of social people used to have in the community, like what telling people what happened. And it was funny because they had a guy on there, I forgot his name, white congressman. He was like, look, why can't we, why you complain about we can't go back and change everything, and why can't we just peacefully, yeah. And Ali was like, yeah, it's funny how we go through all this slavery, take everything, we build this country, and then y'all take it and have it and for yourselves, and then say, look, let's fight fair. Let's be all cool now. Like, we don't have nothing. Why you want to be cool now? You already took us through the ringer. Now you want to sit back and be like, no, we got all these laws and you can't do this. Snap. But we took this and took that.
Nah, you're right. Like, yeah, I mean, he has a point there, and it's like, whenever here it is. You see that?
Oh, I know. And look how far they look. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. He's like, this is I'm on the market picture. He's like, ladies.
I don't know.
He's like,
it's very unflattering, that picture.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, Michelle Obama's a beautiful black woman, and and I told this to my wife. I was like, so what? She don't look that nice. My wife's very forgiving to people she likes, but my wife, like, if I was out with my wife and somebody took a picture like that, it would not be going on the internet. You know what I mean? You see that, Lauren? Does that look? That's very.
I'm sorry, my ring light had fell, and I was trying to get this.
It fell because you were just like taken back by what you just saw. That's why it fell.
Yeah.
That's unflattering, to say the least.
Y'all think they too far in the photo?
Oh yeah, I think he's reaching it.
So come on, bro.
He's like, he's like this my friend right here. This my friend.
Right.
That's my cousin. That's the when you try to explain it.
Is that their house? Is that their house or a restaurant? It looks like
that might be a house. It's a restaurant.
Like a
You think it's a restaurant?
sure.
I don't know. Those glasses don't look restauranty.
No, this is too the way the chairs and stuff are set up. That's not they would have.
No, but look at that thing that behind Michelle. Like, that doesn't make sense. Why would that be on the table at a restaurant?
Because they're former president. What they're talking about
there's like some kind of thing right here. This thing.
They're probably in a chef's. They're probably in a chef's table room.
That's her.
Because they usually have the wine and all that. Yeah.
So
they don't go sit down. The restaurant they go to, it don't look the same as where we sit down.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they're probably in the back. But like, she got like she might as well should have put a bonnet on or some shit like that.
Right. I was. Just
she got some camo and wrap on this shit.
Right.
That shit, I don't even know. But I don't know, man. I
They made history, and if it seems like maybe they grew apart, maybe that's the situation, then more power to them. I'm sure they raised beautiful children. They're going to do great things in society. So, hey, it is what it is. Life happens, unfortunately.
Barry out there in them streets, man. I'm telling you, he was on that campaign trail, and
Melania hates Trump, but she's still with him. She hates him.
Yo, she won't even let homie like kiss her on the cheek. Yo, did you see all that?
Hat down, like
He had the blow her kiss. He was like up on her cheek. He pulled away. And he had to blow her a kiss. Like I was like, damn, homie, what are you doing?
Well, she makes it obvious.
Oh yeah, but look, that's the modern day. This is where we're at. None of those. There's nothing sacred anymore. Like, and people used to criticize Hillary Clinton for being faithful.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like I see now, like she's probably the baddest one out. Like
she's the OG.
Yeah, and Bill, shit. You know, Bill. You know, you know what he been doing. Maybe still doing it. Who knows? Who the hell knows, man? Anyway, yeah, Trump gonna this country gonna go through the ringer with Trump. What do you think of what's his name? Elon Musk doing what he did. I personally think that he's trolling. I don't think the guy's like a absolute
I think he is
Nazi,
too. I think he is too.
He is sort of
he's very autistic.
He's Nazi adjacent. No, he's Nazi adjacent. The man says some crazy shit online. Like he's definitely a, if not white supremacist, white nationalist. I don't know
and this,
what the difference really is there, but
so this is for all the people who drive Audis because they're Nazi adjacent. That's a company that came directly from Nazi regime, from four companies. That's why the four rings are there. There were four Nazi car companies that combined into one, and that's where the four rings come from. So whoever drives an Audi out there,
or Volkswagen,
that's Nazi adjacent.
What about a Volkswagen?
Well,
that's part of that.
Volkswagen,
I think
Mercedes,
Audi,
Mercedes, all that comes off the same. Mercedes, Volkswagen, Porsche, they all come off the same assembly line. So we're all, and this is why it's so interesting because this stuff is always fun fodder for me because there's always a line of hypocrisy, right? And whatever we do as people, we all have to be honest about where we are, right? Like, hey, and I think that's where people resonate sometimes with Trump because he just says whatever, right? And just doesn't care. And I think a lot of people pretend to care and they really don't. And they keep up appearances. And it's almost like the person who, it's almost like the thought from IG that tells you she wants to be with you because you have money. You might rather that than somebody who pretends, right? They want to be with you, and then you find out they're just with you because of money, right? If it's almost like the same type of thing, and I think that's a relationship that Trump has with like people in general, that they just like get to the point where they know everybody's lying.
Very transactional.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Everything favor for a favor, or like he's like, yo, wife, you're good arm candy. You make me look better, but I'm still gonna like fuck around and shit. And she's cool with that just so she can have the power and the position. But is that any way to live? I don't know if I could. I don't like doing that shit.
Yeah, it's not any way to live, but some people choose to live different ways, and it's the relationship as far as with politics. That's how people choose to live. Some people want to be lied to their face and believe, right, this person's the Messiah, whoever they believe in, politics. And the other people, at the end of the day, behind closed doors, they know they can do dirt with. So they get in behind closed doors and they, help them get elected and, put people in position, and it happens the way it happens. It's both sides of the coin. Is both sides are fucked up. There's nothing we can do about it. We just got to operate in between the lines. And I think that in general, I think people need to understand we're all just people. We're all just human. Some people believe a certain guy. Some people believe a certain politician. Some people believe this or that. But it's all dirt within all of those sects. Like it's no, oh, you're one of those? Oh, yeah. I know you don't do X, Y, and Z. It doesn't exist, So I think that that's where we are. And it's, with social media, every half of the stuff on there is fake, or what people say, whatever they say. I don't know. It's a crazy world to be raising a kid in, I tell you that.
No, right? Man, God bless. I don't have no children right now. But like, that's what you got. I'm just kind of numb to all this shit because like every time something crazy comes out, like we're at a point right now where it's like he's pulling us out of everything. The Paris Climate Accords. He got rid of DEI in the federal government. He literally told them all to go home. Like I don't know if any of y'all know anybody who works for the federal government that got hired within the last 4 or 5 years under some kind of measure to promote diversity, but whatever, it's over. So it's literally going to be white men running everything again. So,
well, it's not really again. See, that's the whole thing. It's the same thing.
There's always a system of checks and balances. Same with our military. Like, you have to figure if our military was all white males, right? Mm-hmm. And Lauren, you're from the military, right? You came out of the military, you did stuff, right? Okay.
I was in the Marine Corps.
So for every they replace every black man, woman, every Muslim man, woman, every Hispanic, Chinese, and any diverse group with just white men. It's a wrap. Then anybody who comes in here with some type of
of course,
because most white men that join the military, and I'm not being like trying to racially profile, but they do have a certain profile about them that makes them want to join the military. And it's usually lower middle class. I mean, I'm talking about the reserves, like people that go into the field. And then, obviously you have generals and stuff like that, people with higher rank and have position, maybe it could be a family thing or whatever, that they're in the military and they rank higher or ambitions are higher. But there's a lot of people just with cops, man. If you let that system go down and they start, siding with the powers that be, especially a guy like Trump.
Yeah, I feel I feel like they already do, because I feel like in those chain of command type situations.
I mean, the last
that chain of command, or what are you talking about, siding with the police and stuff? I mean, I feel like
they try. You remember the generals were pushing. I mean, Trump has power. I don't know if he has power to replace the generals, but if there's generals that side with Trump, they could easily change things around and put in some kind of military or martial law to do whatever. If the government tries to say, hey, we want to replace you or take you, whatever. I mean, all this stuff happens. Look, every government throughout history, every government or monarchy or whatever you want to call it, has fallen because of shit like this, what's going on now in America. I mean, it's been over 400 years of decent government, I guess, but now it's just weird how they got a lot of people on this train thinking that this guy can save things or disrupt things in a positive way, when it's the worst possible person to pick for that shit. In my opinion, he's just
and that's the thing. It's just I don't know. I guess I'm a cynic in a way. I just think there's and I went down to the White House that night Obama got elected. We all went down there and walked down there.
I was there.
I
didn't even vote for that man, and
but I still think in the same token, I don't care who's president as far as what you think is going to change as far as the system is concerned. I mean, the whole thing, when we start to see real change, is going to be on a local level. I mean, when people get invested into local politics, the national politics are just a smokescreen for us not to care about local politics. Essentially, the president's going to do everything for us. Nobody knows all these council members that are getting elected and ANC commissioners that are getting elected, and your local mayor. Nobody knows who that is, and then the president or someone can swoop in and support said mayor or said governor or what have you, and then basically just shoo them in because they have a red state or a blue state, right? And you create these psyches of people that just follow the lead, and the lead is voting for president. You vote for, and then you down the line, right? So we won't see any real change of any systems or anything until people really show a strong interest. If we start getting national attention with local politics, where things actually really impact your day-to-day life.
But what makes you want to vote for lunatics? There are arguably crazy idiots. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz. Gaetz is a literal pedophile. He sent money to a 17-year-old for sexual favors. Marjorie Taylor Greene believes in Jewish space lasers. All these crazy shits in the White, and don't even get Trump talking about drink some bleach to get rid of COVID. All this stuff that these lunatics say, and we just sit here and laugh they're just playing around. And then he does the shit that he's talking about. Everybody's he's not going to do the DEI thing. He did it on day one. He released all those.
Access. Yeah, but still, it says access to more information. If we had access to information, if we had access to information like we do now, we would know similar things about people we thought certain things about 30, 40 years ago. If we had certain access to, social media and the way people have access to right now, people post a whole docket. You get indicted. Your whole case is on Instagram. It's like literally you can download the entire transcript. You can see it. You know how many people got hushed up back in the day, back in the 60s, back in the 50s, back in the
Yeah, but that's different.
like,
You had to go to a courthouse to get that paperwork, and so now it's online. It's all there.
I'm talking about not even getting to a courthouse. I'm talking about stuff getting settled in judges' quarters. Like, oh, hey, such and such's nephew just raped such. Like, bro, like,
but it doesn't even get to that now. Like the way, like you said, information.
Yeah,
somebody could literally, like, if like one of those the Kennedys that murdered 20, 30 different prostitutes and girlfriends. So you got to look at it and be like, now they could just hit up somebody and be like, yo, I need this fixed, right? They can text them, call them, whatever. There's different ways they can communicate. Like everybody's got back channels without having to actually use a telegram or whatever. So there's different ways you could. Yeah, that's there. But like, I feel like they don't give a fuck about that. Like they're doing these things very out in the open now. Like the corruption, the foolery, the fuckery, whatever. It's all out in the open. And I think there's a whole group of people that are just too stupid to notice or care. And then there's a whole group of people and, that are just, oh, well, this shit's never going to change or we can't change it. But then they still kind of like accept it. It's so weird. I don't know. I don't understand. There's no leaders. There's no real leaders anymore, especially in the black community. I've been bugging about that for years. Yeah. I mean, closest thing we've had to that in this modern day is probably Farrakhan, but he doesn't represent all the ideals of the average black person. We're not all Muslim and I like my bacon and shit. I ain't gonna like bow down to your rules and regulate. I mean, I practiced Islam for a while, but I did not, to me, I found it to be a very good structured way of living, but I like my bacon. I don't need to be like doing this damn, praying to Mecca 5 times a day. I got my own relationship with God. So it's I feel like he's close. And then who else is there? Like there's nobody else, you know what I mean, that does things or says things that are like impactful to the community. And then we got all these clowns like Dr. Umar and shit. Like I don't even, and Dr. Umar's message is great, but the way he promotes himself, it's just like you can't take the man seriously. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know you're a big Charleston white guy.
Well, I think I just think I love his backstory and the way he delivers the message he's trying to get across, because he makes so much sense in the fact that people don't listen to people that are conscious about what needs to change and trying to get people to like take action. People like slapstick, people like instant gratification, people like key phrases and things, right? That's why, campaign phrases, make America great again, like all these things, these really help to get him votes. Literally that phrase helps to get him votes, and so
you have to ask, when was America great? Like people always ask, so you see those videos like, when was America actually great? Especially when they ask a black person that and they support Trump and they say what you voted for this nigga. When was America great for you or for anybody? Anyway,
well, it's not about
no, answer the question. When was America great?
No, it's not about, well, I'm saying people that vote for him would vote for him just on that phrase. I'm making a point of like that's how stupid the whole system is, as far as like.
So what was your motivation in your decision?
Well, I don't talk about who I voted for. Okay.
Oh, neither do I.
It's a private decision, but
you literally said it on the last 3 podcasts we had. So
it doesn't. I mean, okay. It's not about like my thing is always like economic growth and strength and prosperity as far as like what people can negotiate when it comes to how we do business. And for me,
open market deregulation,
deregulation,
you're into that. I mean, that's fine. I get it.
But that's not that's not something that necessarily Trump will control. I think that it's something that when you have a shift in ideology in general, right, and then you win House and Senate, along with that, then maybe you can get some things done.
Moneyed interest, that there's so much money in the industries that you're talking about that they will have some kind of influence on how things go. But it's not. I hope it's to the point. It's a. I don't want to get into that topic now because we could talk for ages about that. But it's it's one of those things like, yeah, how much can you deregulate to the point where it's a free market, wild west, so everybody's just doing what the fuck they want just to earn, just for the bottom line? It's just crazy because it doesn't. The more you deregulate, the more you take away the rights of people, environments, or like anything. There's a reason why there's regulations, right? So there's a reason why you can't dump toxic waste in your backyard from your chemical plant, because it's going to destroy a national park, or it's going to destroy this strip of land that is owned by whoever, right? Now they want to take all that shit away and fuck up everything, except for their little thing. Look at California. I don't say that's an issue with deregulation. It's an issue of overpopulation of poor people, and they can't put them anywhere because the rich people push them out. And there's like 4 people living on 20 acres of land that they don't want anybody near, right? And then or around 20 acres of land they don't want anybody near. So there's all this land that nobody's using or they're not building on because they don't want unfavorable people around them. I'm catching an echo. Who's that? Is that you? Oh,
hold on.
No, you should always use the wired headphone. Anyway.
Sorry about that. I was trying to see if I could plug my headphones in at the same time.
Oh, you can. You just gotta.
But they won't connect when I'm charging them for some reason. I don't know why.
It should connect regular. Anyway, there's so much you could discuss because and also like, all right, this might make me sound like a hypocrite now that I've been criticizing Trump for the past 20 minutes, but I don't like the thing with Snoop Dogg and Nelly performing inauguration. So I found a little backstory. Snoop he's actually performing at an event for somebody who donated to Trump that he's friends with. So it's not really him saying, hey, I fuck with Trump. He's actually fucking with the guy some crypto guy that's running a inauguration event. So he's performing there. Nelly is performing, I don't think at an inauguration, but at the inauguration event. I think Trump has his own like acts coming for his formal inauguration, like ceremony or celebration or whatever. But either way, like Nelly said, he did it for a bag or whatever, and it's just whatever. But why are people criticizing them for just celebrating? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense,
Because they're hypocrites.
They're hypocrites.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's like it goes back to there's no way of getting away from hypocrisy. There's just no way of getting away from it. It's like,
well, how does that make you a hypocrite? Like, I mean, not to say. I'm sorry. I could feel a certain way
because you can't say something. People can't be mad about anything anyone does like that, right? Like there's certain lines, right? You don't cross, right? Murder, rape, right? But
ain't nobody give a fuck.
Performing
look,
at an event.
Look,
like
let me
when
tell you
you're
something.
An entertainer. Like,
ain't nobody gave a fuck. Ain't nobody gave a fuck about Nelly till he said he was going to perform at a Trump event. Lauren, did you give a fuck about Nelly? So you heard? I mean, did you even care?
I forgot he existed.
Okay, do you? I don't know your politics and whatever, but are you mad that he's performing at Trump's thing? Are you happy? Do you even care?
I feel like it's awkward, especially for the Black community, like, and people who don't agree. Think it's like it's not okay for him to perform at a Trump thing, but everybody has the right to believe in what they believe in, and that's just what he's doing. So it has nothing to do with me personally. Like,
yeah,
but
it should, and that's the thing. Like, why do people care? Like, people care so much; they're invested in it. Like, they're out here crying. Like, oh my god,
it's like that for everything. People,
what those?
Other people's lives. It's crazy.
I can't listen to Hot in Here anymore. Get your eagle on. I can't listen to it no more.
The same people that do that will have a Louis bag. I'd be like, do you know the history of Louis Vuitton? Like, do you know what you're supporting? Like, do you know these companies? Like, come on. They're not your friend.
I know, but still, you can't.
Like, I mean, come on, Timberlake. All the things that we wear, right? All the things that we propagate, right?
Yeah, but everything,
they don't like that. We're not.
I'm wearing a cotton hoodie, and like slaves used to pick cotton. Like, am I going to stop wearing cotton because?
But you're going to. It's not about that. The cotton is a resource, right? Where we can use that also and create things, right? So if we know if we came up from that, why don't we use that and actually, right, and take it, right, and resource that?
It's the same thing. Like, if Louis Vuitton makes a good product that I want to use, why would I? They're not. Are they still fucking? I don't know what what dirt people got. No, Louis Vuitton, but I'm just saying, like,
no. Oh, but the history of those families, the Moet, the Hennessy, all the history of those families. Look, okay, just think about it this way. Let's think about it this way. So you can get the best, like, quote unquote, most expensive shit at the typically like some of the most hood spots. Like you could go to like that's where you go and you get like whatever back in the day, Fendi, Louis, blah 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 blah, and people out there dying, can't afford food, homeless, struggling, but we want to have the best fit, Louis, Gucci, but look, when Gucci caught all that slack about the whole campaign when they was doing the blackface and all that, and remember they had a little bit of
and wearing nooses, they had nooses on the runway.
What happened to that?
And
nothing happened to that. Like, nothing happened to nobody cared. So I'm just like, come on, people wear Gucci. Like, come on, we got a rapper named Gucci man. Like, it's just so. My thing is with all of this is not like I'm not like going to the extreme with it. I'm just like, look. If he's an entertainer, right? These guys are entertainers. They're gonna entertain. They're gonna go and they're gonna entertain. I'm sure. I tell you a story. I went to go see Alicia Keys way back in the day when she first came out at DAR in DC, which is the Daughters of American Revolution, and they used to not let black people perform there.
I know that's why I've been there for a couple shows. Yeah, I think I saw Dave Chappelle there.
Yeah. So should I not go to that show because she's performing at a place that's been historically racist and against minority community? Or should I go to that show and embrace the fact that, hey, she's an entertainer, I love her music, I'm gonna go to that show?
Hey, you're conflating two things though. Like, if people are gonna be judgmental about Nelly performing at a Trump thing, we don't know Nelly's politics.
He's an entertainer.
I mean, this is like a political, and that's why like they always say, politics and entertainment should stay away from each other. But no, Trump destroyed all those lines, so that doesn't matter. Like, say let's just say that like Nelly is cool with Trump. Like they go back to the apprenticeships and shit, or he knows Barron. He performed at Barron's birthday party when he was 10 or something. Like you gotta figure
everybody loves Kanye again. Right?
I mean, because he ain't talking about politics and shit. He's been, what's crazy? You know what's crazy about Kanye? And I didn't give a fuck about any of that anti-Semitic shit he was saying. That's him. He'd go whatever direction he wants. I still love the man because he doesn't give a fuck. And he says whatever the fuck he wants to say, does what he wants. Never mind them taking away $2 billion from him and him bouncing right back, sort of. But it makes, it kind of proves to you that like with the right vision and if he could control his emotions and maybe read a book or something like that, the guy's truly a visionary from a creative side, and he has such a strong following. I don't even understand why people just gravitate towards his shit. He's arguable like that shit, like all this crap, these homeless clothes that he's like, I bought all of it, all those $20 things. I bought every piece off the last drop. This new one that just came out, I'm just like, it's a little repetitive, but I am gonna get the shoes. I'm gonna get a couple of things off the website when I have time, but I'm still there. I'm still like a person who's engaged in his art, right? And if it's always weird when we think about like why are people like why do they buy the Trump meme coin? Why do they that cult of persona, right? Is that they call it? It draws people in. There's a reason why he drew you in, and like a Trump or Kanye or whatever. And even though they have these crazy views, they're not so far off from what people in the actual society think. Like, I know people have opinions on Jewish people and all that type of stuff. And they don't say it out loud, but the guys that say it out loud, they're like, well, you got a point. You know what I mean?
And sometimes it's your competition. Look who he was going against. Biden, right? Biden was 2 weeks out from getting rolled out.
That's the Democrats' fault. I ain't gonna get into how mad I'm at the Democratic Party.
That whole thing was botched from the jump. There was no way, and Kamala got thrown in there, and things just got things just wasn't well organized. But to the point I was making, it's just like, I don't know. I just have a hard time when people judge people for anything that they're doing that's legal. That they're not doing anything wrong. Like, at the end of the day, we don't judge what people do that's a lot worse than performing at a presidential event. Whoever the president's going to be, we don't judge people at all, for what they say, how they act, what they represent. We don't judge people at all. It's all sound bites, from people to pretend to feel a certain way, and react the way they feel, which is fine. Everybody should have an opinion, but I'm just like, I call bullshit when people get all up in arms about it and really try to, latch themselves onto the whole moral aptitude
high
of it.
ground and all that shit, and then you find out. Yeah, that's why I don't. Yeah,
Right.
It all goes by like social media and all that stuff. Everybody's kind of like doing performing arts now. Every activist and shit. Like you see like a brother like Sean King. I respect him but he goes out of his way just to dramatize everything he does. You know what I mean? And now he's not on social media anymore because they banned him off of Instagram or whatever. But he just goes out of his way just to do. Now he's a devout Muslim, and then before he's doing this, before he's doing that, it's like there's so many. I need leaders. I want leaders where I can look up. That's why I look at I'm not saying Kanye's any type of leader, but at least he's sort of a straight shooter. And if you put him in a place where it's like, or you put a personality like that, and give them a little structure, a little balance, and everything, and a message, there's your next guy, right? Whether he's black or white. But I don't know. There's so much. I don't even want to talk about it no more because. Going back to the lighter stuff. Now, this is interesting. It's just fun stuff. OnlyFans. So I don't know if any of you are aware, but there is a collective of young ladies that own a house called the Bop House in LA, right? Do you, Lauren, you know about this?
No,
you know the Bop House? Have you heard of Sophie Rain?
No.
Do you have an OnlyFans account? Not personally. Do you subscribe to anything on OnlyFans? No, neither do I. No, neither. None of us have that. Yeah, porn is supposed to be for free. But there's this collective of young ladies in California that have a house, and they make, I think the number was maybe a little over $8 million a month, just doing only as a collective. The main person in the house, her name is Sophie Rain. Her claim to fame was that she did something with what's the NAL Choppa. She did some social media thing with him back in NAL Choppa, yeah. Something like they pretended like they were dating or something for an Instagram post, a TikTok post. She got big off of that, but her whole claim to fame is that she's been saying that she's a virgin and doesn't want to do anything until she gets married, but she does OnlyFans. And she doesn't do anything nude. None of these girls do anything nude. This girl makes on her own $4 to $6 million a month, and she made about $43 million last year alone on OnlyFans, just doing dances and sending messages to men, right? My point in this is that I saw an interesting YouTube video yesterday where they were kind of breaking down like how bad this Bop House is, how bad TikTok is, and all this stuff and influencing young ladies. And it's kind of true. I was looking at it and I saw like, okay, so these girls, all they do is dance on the thing. They don't encourage any of this behavior. They don't even promote their OnlyFans like that. Men, we go out of our way to like, oh shit, let me, you know what I mean? And it goes back into, like the woman who did this video. And I suggest, maybe I'll leave it in the link under here. I suggest everybody go watch it to kind of get an idea where this all kind of strays us. And it has to do a lot with, men's desires to be with young women and all this other stuff, the whole pedophile stuff, all the Drake and all that other nonsense. But like, these girls are all of age, but then they're saying that they influence young women to want to be OnlyFans girls, but only 1% actually make more than $4,000 a month doing OnlyFans. And I'm talking about some girls do the hardcore content and don't make no money. All Sophie Rain does is walk around in a bikini and send some messages to men, and she makes $4 to $6 million a month. I want to know how come if our country's so damn broke, where are they getting all this money to spend on these? How many simps are in this country? That's one. And two, if it's so like, are we normalizing this? I want to, and actually, it's great. I want to get like a woman's perspective because I know in something like my like I asked my wife about this. She's totally like, they'll do what they want. I wouldn't do it ever. Depending, like when I told her the money, she's like, "Oh, really? She made that much on OnlyFans?" I'm like, "Babe, I don't think like. Look, I'm just gonna use myself as an example. If there was a fetish for like, mocha skin brothers that are kind of chubby, I'll just say chubby, and there was a whole demographic of women that wanted this, and I could be a millionaire doing it, I'd probably join OnlyFans and do it. I have not to say I'm not gonna like put my wang on the internet or anything like that. But if all they want to see me do is walk around in a Speedo with my belly out, I think I could. If you're gonna pay me $20,000, $100,000 a month to do that, no, it'd have to be at least $100,000 a month for me to shed some clothes. But like, I'd do it, And then you got to think like these girls are capitalizing on the moment, but there's a whole generation that they're influencing. That look, not to say there's plenty of beautiful women out there, but like to be the ones that blow up on OnlyFans, it's hard, even though there's tens of thousands of them out there. So I'm like, well, I don't know. I have my opinion on it. I think it's not good. But one thing, and this is when it comes to OnlyFans, why it's such a genius business model, and why I feel like it's going to be the next biggest thing, is that they're actually branching off into more legitimate forms of entertainment. They actually have a TV thing. I don't know, Sean, if you listen to the last Drink Champs with Exhibit on it, but OnlyFans approached him about doing Pimp Your Ride because they're starting a TV network, and they're going to be creating like PG content that they're going to distribute through their business model. And it's
smart.
Simple, yeah, it's very smart. I mean, I'd actually buy into that if I could get like content like that or whatever, like really good content. And people they make so much damn money over there. It's all profit, really, because all they're doing is hosting a server that these sex workers or bops or whatever you want to call send out pictures and whatever to, and they take a cut of that. And these girls and men or whatever are making money hand over fist. Adult entertainment has changed a lot over there. Now it's not, like what I said, that thing about porn being free. It is free. Now it's like you have to, if you really want to get like the good shit, you got to go to OnlyFans now because that's where it's at. And will I pay for it? No, it doesn't make any sense for me to pay for it. I don't even care about that shit. I'm married. I got enough of that at home. But I could see like the way the world is now. It's so fucked. Like all these people are all introverted and all this other crap. I don't know, Sean. What do you think? There's so much going around this, but I just feel like that whole, like, how is it 20-year-old women making more than Steph Curry for shooting threes? I don't even get it. That's wild.
It's a game. It's the oldest game that's been around since the beginning of time.
But they wasn't making that much money. And where the pimps at? Who's pimping them? Like, it don't make sense.
OnlyFans is the pimp.
No, these girls are making money.
No, they're making money. But how
many strippers do you know make that type of money? How many adult actresses make that type of money?
Well, it's just
they're doing less, bro. Doing less. Yeah, the girl, the most she does is wear a bikini.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still the same game that's been forever and ever, right? It's like dudes will go to the strip club, not even touch a girl, and spend whatever, money. So it's just, and now you just got it at your fingertips, right? It's just like gambling, right? It's where you go to the casino, and then you see how much money you make when you put that shit on your phone. You see the numbers go way up, right? Because there's no line, you also get access. So it's just access. All we're seeing is the money when people get access to what they already do on a normal basis. Now they just have more access to it. This is exactly what I was saying before about the information that we get about politicians and all that. It's just, that's all it is. That's the only thing that's changed. The access to the information. And this is the only thing that's changed. The access to the, to the girl that you're trying to.
But what is the difference? Like, is it now? Okay. So like growing up, and, we saw like thing, my dad had like Playboy magazines. I think I told the story on one of our other podcasts. Like, my first experience with that stuff was like my dad had the stack of Penthouse and Playboy magazine. That's old school shit, right? Like, the girls are pretty much covered up for the most part. I mean, you see a boob or something, whatever. And then, you see all the stuff. You grow up and then you learn all about the birds and the bees. And next thing you know, you're married with like 20 kids. So you think like, but then like this stuff, the accessible, like DVDs, videotapes, all that stuff was in our era. And then there was always that hardcore stuff and all that type of stuff. But now it's way more accessible. But what draws people to a thing like OnlyFans to give a young lady who's literally showing the same shit on her Instagram and TikTok all this money? What is it? I don't know. Why have these been draining their wallets? I mean, I understand. What is it? What is it? I know the simps, but what is it?
No. Well, obviously the simps, but they think they're doing something good for her. It's like they think about it like this. Like think about like if a girl's really into a guy, dude's really into a girl, it could be one sided, right? If you ever been in a situation where it's one sided, that person who's into that other person is completely in control of that situation, 1000%. Girl or guy is completely in control. Hey, I'm
isn't into them or like,
no. I'm saying if you have two people, girl and guy, whatever the situation is, two people in a relationship, two people in any kind of communication type of way. If you got one person that's really, really into the other person and the other person is not into that person, right? Like, but they know the person's really, really, really into them. Mm-hmm. That person can manipulate the hell out of them. That's all that's happening. It's a dude, right? As soon as a dude sends a message, I don't know how. I personally, to be completely honest, I've never been on OnlyFans with it, but I'm assuming, you could watch videos, download, message, but these
know a lot about it for someone who'd never been on there.
Well, you just broke it all down. you know how much money they make. You talk about a TV show that's
documentary on it. I do my research before I come here.
Just think about it this way. You talked about Instagram, right? If there's a bad joint on Instagram that a dude is trying to get with or whatever, right? And he messages her on Instagram, she's probably not going to message him back. But if he messages her on OnlyFans, she's probably going to message him back. He's
he paid for that. Okay, I know.
But you know what I'm saying? But that's the whole mental psyche. If back in those Playboy magazine days, if they probably had little ads where you could write a letter in and you might get a letter back and you can subscribe, right? That's how it all started, right? And who knows who wrote that fucking letter? But people would pay for the fact that you got a letter. You could get it from a sports fan, a signed card or jersey. Sometimes it could be signed by an assistant, right, on the team. But you got it. Oh, Kobe sent me this. I got a letter from Kobe, right? Or I got a letter from MJ, whatever.
MJ didn't send out no letters. But a good guy.
But that's the whole thing, and that's without even seeing them write it. That's without even them. They didn't call you. They didn't anything. These people can actually be messaging with them and then message them back. Hey, what'd you have for breakfast? Oh, baby,
I get it. I totally get it. But how that is crazy though. Like I don't even. How do you have like? And that's what's wrong. And I don't. So, Lauren, what did you say? You're 26.
Yeah, I'm 26.
You know a lot of young men. Then are they like this for real? Will they spend their last dollar sports gambling and on OnlyFans?
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna say no names, but I know somebody in my life that recently, he opened up to me and told me that he did that, and like he was spending money on girls. I was really confused, and this was a family member. This wasn't somebody that I was dating or anything. This was a family member, but it's crazy. But I really feel like people just live in this, virtual world. Nobody's like somebody has said it's a lot of introvert energy going on nowadays. People aren't getting out, so because people living online, that's their only way to really connect and communicate with girls. And then
but what if you're not even stepping out your house? Like why? I'm not gonna spend hundreds of dollars on a girl who's not remotely interested in me for anything substantial, whether it be relationship, whatever. I even have trouble. Like I argued with my wife the other day about this. Like, when we go out, we go into steakhouses. I spent $400 on the last 3 meals we just ate. Can we eat at home for one? You know what I mean? That's my wife, right? Yeah. I'm arguing with her. These motherfuckers is having the girl send them text messages, spending $20, $30 a pop just to have them say good morning. That's wild.
Right.
Yeah. That's the same way. But see, the way you're thinking about that is the same way I think about somebody driving around in circles in a downtown metropolitan area looking for a hooker on the street. The same way you think like that, I think.
Yeah, but at least
but it's a lot of people.
No,
bro. But it's a lot of people
from the OnlyFans.
I mean, is that really the ass you trying to get though? Come on, bro. Like you picking somebody up off the street, corner.
Let me tell you something.
Like that's the same. So. People, the same people that you're talking about that are on OnlyFans,
No. You think all these girls is going to be prostitutes? That's on OnlyFans.
It is celebratory prostitution.
No, they're not a lot. Most of the girls that make the real money on OnlyFans do not show everything. Do not
listen.
do
Listen,
explicit
it's not
content
about
like that.
It's not about showing anything. Look, you ever read anything about the psyche of people who like sexually assault people and things like that? It's not about the sex. It's about the control. People want, like, you know what I'm saying? People are fucked up in the head and people want a certain amount of control. These
What
guys
control do they have?
because a girl like them is talking to them. They get in their head that they're actually talking to this girl, like for real. They really think they're talking to this girl. Just like some guys will go and have a prostitute, like girls, like guys will have prostitutes or whatever, and they really, or go to a strip club and they really think.
See, there's levels.
Oh,
yes, there's levels.
If girls come over, they like, oh, that's my girl. Oh, that's all. Oh, she always got me. She know what I bring. She don't know.
Dog, the
like,
order, the hierarchy of the engagement is all fucked up now. It goes, look, top tier. Look, you're getting pussy from a prostitute. Second tier, getting grinded on by a stripper and seeing some ass and stuff. Last tier would be OnlyFans, where you're literally talking. These girls should be charging like 20 cents a message, not $10, $20 a message just to see you to say hello. No, these other girls are actually working for it and giving up something, right? There's physical and like, you know, you they're on you at the strip club. You smell them, you're touching them. Over at the next thing, you know, you're whatever you want to do. Look, she just left because she's getting uncomfortable with this shit. But like that's the next level to it. And then you got to think, like, how does it all, you know? It's just weird how they're paying for this shit, like all that type of money. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Well, it doesn't make sense. But most things, right, don't really make sense. Like, why would anybody do mostly anything? Like, why? You know, I don't understand why people want to jump out of a plane and go skydiving. I don't think that shit. I'm like, why the fuck would you want to do that? Like, why would you want to be in a hot air balloon? I don't know. But there's all across the world, people just do shit that, to me, bungee jumping, I would never fucking even contemplate that. But there's a whole tourist industry built on bungee jumping. You know, millions of dollars. So, you know, so at the end of the day, it's the same. It's just a psyche thing. When people are really into that, if they're addicts, sex addicts, and all that, it translates the same way as anything else. Drug addicts, you do heroin, you do coke, you do, you know.
It's got to be generational though, because I don't think it's that extreme. Like, you're talking drug addiction, all that type of stuff. I don't think it's that extreme.
Sure people spend more than they supposed to be spending on OnlyFans. I'm pretty sure people probably miss some bills and stuff, paying, you know, on OnlyFans. I'm sure it's a problem in families and breaking up relationships and all that. If you're risking all that for OnlyFans, then you got a problem.
Yeah, you know, like I said, it's free. It's free. I mean, look, like, bro, all you motherfuckers is spending money on OnlyFans. More power to you. You got way more expendable income. Whoever, like, I seen the Sophie Rain chick. Some dude literally spends $200,000-$300,000 a month.
Oh yeah,
a month.
Yeah,
messaging her.
Yeah.
And to be real, I think some AI bot is messaging him back. It's not really her. Because I don't even see how it's possible that you could send that many messages to somebody and not have a robot answering, or people in general.
She probably has a whole situation where she's like, I'll send you a t-shirt if you subscribe to my exclusive. They probably got all kinds of stuff. And then all she does is buy probably a bunch of t-shirts. It just sends, this is like, this whole situation.
The marketing is amazing, though. The marketing. House shit. Yo, dog. I was like, damn, that's fucking smart. You got them all in the same house. You're all building a social media following off each other.
Yeah, no, that's
and you're bringing in new girls, doing all this stuff. You know, I mean, it's that you know, that Jack Doherty kid he did the same thing.
Oh yeah.
He built up he did like YouTube pranks and channel. He got millions of followers, but then he turned his house into like an OnlyFans house. Just has a bunch of, he's like a pimp. But he just makes content with them, and they make shit like money hand over fist. But not to this extreme. I don't think he's making the type of money these girls are making. No. And I keep thinking to myself, like, what business are we in where this shit doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, when is it going to connect where things make sense from a business side? Sorry we missed you. We just actually talked about the business stuff, like how smart of a business this actually is, even though you don't have to. You're not selling pussy. You're not. And look, this goes to men too. Men that do it as well, because there's men on there, and it's also Jerry
and couples.
Jerry told me that a girl that he knows started an OnlyFans just to show her feet, and she makes like $2,000 a month just posting pictures of her feet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dog, imagine if I got me a little pedicure, manicure, just throw my feet. It don't matter. I'm gonna try it. Actually, I'm gonna do a social experiment and see if it works.
Look, how many? Let's see.
I'm gonna start little crusty feet Instagram page and then guide it to my OnlyFans for more spicy content. If you want to see more of my feet.
I mean, dude, it's but just think about it this way, right? We talking about OnlyFans, right? And like, let me see.
This is such a weird dynamic. Like, you know, like I said, the tiers of this stuff. Like, you know, even if you talk about high-end call girls, right? Let's just go into that. Like, you see the ones out in Vegas and shit, $2,000-$3,000 a night. Like, they have to give up so much for a few $1,000s, and they might have 1 or 2 customers, right, at the most. And then they still have to give that money to their pimp and all these other people, and they might walk away with, let's just say, they make a couple of G's a night, right? This Sophie Rain chick is making 40, 50 grand an hour.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck is that? This was, oh God.
I mean, look at it. We had a girl say Hawk Tua talk about how to suck dick, and she became famous. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. This has been around.
You think she can have an OnlyFans pretty soon? Oh, she just got engaged, right?
Well, as soon as that indictment comes down, she might have to.
Oh, they putting down that on her? That damn
I think so.
Cryptocurrency?
I think so.
Oh, that was a straight scam. They weren't even hiding that shit. They just said, we're gonna scam you. And
yeah, she had that on her marriage registry. That one, crypto. Buy some crypto.
Some crypto, man.
But I just think, man, that's the look. If you can always remake oldest things in the book, I mean, look, you know, the people who make nails or companies who make nails always gonna make money as long as you need nails, and if that shit changes, they're gonna change it into some other new kind of nail, but they'll have some way to pivot. You know, like it's. Some car companies used to make lawnmowers.
Ferrari used to make tractors.
Tractor. Yeah, you know. So it's like, OnlyFans is new kid on the block. 30 years from now, it's gonna be something else.
It's a genius business, by the way. I mean, it's not any different than, you know, like cams. And you got to think and I always bring this up. The adult industry is always light years ahead when it comes to monetizing new technologies. So the AI stuff, all of this, like girls are using AI to talk to their clients or their fans and stuff. They're making AI images, they're doing AI video, they're doing all this stuff now, and on the adult side, and then things like OnlyFans, monetizing the engagement, they mastered it. It's like and people look OnlyFans. There's OnlyFans pages for specific. There's a guy I know that resells sneakers. He has an exclusive channel on OnlyFans. Just charges $5 a month for whenever he drops a new, you know, a sneaker that he's trying to sell, you know, resell or whatever. He puts it there first, so his OnlyFans people have access to it first, and they can buy direct, and then it goes on to his regular sales shop on his Instagram or whatever.
Hey, Lauren, remember when he was claiming I knew a lot about OnlyFans? Damn, he got all the ed. He got all the.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Talk about the special QR codes. Get your shoes.
I never said that.
The TV shows, she did TV shows on OnlyFans. You got the whole setup. You okay?
I see. Again, I do my research before the show. You know, y'all sitting back can't even make your microphones work properly. I'm over here.
Sit back and let you educate.
Look, let me cook. Let me cook. Look, I'm telling you, if there's a way we could take this podcast and put on OnlyFans and make more money, I'll do it. Look at that shit. You
need a stripper pole in your room.
Nah, I mean, you know, bringing guests on, whatever we gotta do. But at the end of the day, like, you know, that's what Patreon is really. Like, Patreon is like that, where you could do exclusive content and all that. But like, you can't. Going back to that thing, OnlyFans is a genius business model where they don't, like, the distributor does not take too much off the top, and they give you resources. That's one thing. Like, Patreon gives you resources to, like, help build that fund. Like, they give you that, like, the ability to put exclusive video and you know, voice messages and contact information and all that shit. Before, it had to be done behind a paywall that you created yourself, right? Like through your website. So you go subscribe on the website. You have to upload the shit, figure out how to get it on a server, like, all this other crap. Because you can't put adult content on a server. Like, you have to figure out how to stream it through your website. That costs a lot of money. They gave a good infrastructure, and that's the thing. It's all about infrastructure. If you could, if you could get the best web services and all that stuff for cheap and provide a service to people, they will come in flock. So it's a genius business model, and everybody's eating off of that, and it's not that complicated. It's just like whoever, I always make that metaphor about whoever put the clock in. So like there's the microwave, right? There was a genius who invented the microwave, best cooking invention ever. You know who made more money than that guy? The guy who put a clock in the microwave. Because now you can tell the time on the microwave, and they're going to buy that microwave, not the guy. Obviously, the guy who invented it probably getting licensing and all that other stuff. But there's somebody selling more microwaves than the guy without a clock in. That's the point. Yeah. So you got to think like, okay, these people said, okay, there's the ability to change up this thing and make it something that's viable and scalable and all that stuff. And it's like with any business, you got to look at it that way. Like, what you do, what any of us do. Yeah. So it's like, there's. It's just, to me, I'm just fascinated by it because of the way it's innovated this one particular industry. But like now it's branching off into other shit. I'm excited to see where it goes. But I'm also just like, how is this basic ass chick making $45 million, $50 million a year? That's crazy. Not to say, look, more power to women. I love the fact, but also like it's so weird that there's that many simps out there. Like, what's going on? Men need
I mean, bro, I'm trying to tell you, oldest game in the book. The girl, look, the power of the PUSSY. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. Like, look at this. A damn intern almost took down Clinton in the presidency because he couldn't hold himself accountable in his own office. Like, if there was an OnlyFans, right? Eventually, there's going to be a president that we're going to see that subscribe to OnlyFans, or we're going to see a president's daughter or son.
I'm 100% sure that Trump has OnlyFans.
That's going to be because one of their kids is going to be like, "Yo, I'm doing my own thing."
Oh, Barron,
and they're going to make.
Man,
they're going to make.
Don't let me look at Barron's phone right now. Don't let me look at Barron's phone right now. That it's got no game. He probably is that guy that's giving Sophie Rain $400,000 a month.
It's the oldest. I mean, sex, guns, and alcohol, bro. Like, look at the alcohol industry. Like, people know, when you drink. People know when you smoke, when you drink with it. People know, but it don't matter. Like,
I'm just fascinated. Like, Lauren, you're out in the street still. So, like, what's wrong with men in this generation? Like, I'm not in the club no more. I know when we was coming up, we was in our mid. I met you in my mid 20s. So him and I partied a lot. We had no problem talking to women. Now, I know it's a little different now because, people don't like to get touched or anything like that. I understand. It's great. I don't like to be touched either, especially with all this shit. You don't know who's touching you nowadays. There's so much, I don't know. But, we grew up in a looser generation where it was like, okay, you back it up. You tell a girl to back it up on you. She just might do it willingly, right? Yeah. Now it's like, don't go near me. Don't touch me. No, all this stuff. Like, so is there... And I don't know if you party or anything like what is the experience out in the streets now when you out like partying and stuff? Is it fun, or you just stay with the girl? What do you do?
I feel like it depends on the vibe where you go. It's different type of clubs, different type of vibes. I don't go to typical clubs. I like house music, so I'm like in that type of atmosphere. Yeah. And people really just stay to themselves. It's a lot of good energy. But if I was to go to a regular club that play like rap and hip hop and I don't know, like, I don't go in there expecting anything from anybody. Like, the dudes don't want anything. I'm sure everybody's trying to find something to do, nasty after it. It's just like nobody really has pure intentions anymore.
But it used to be like everybody was fair. Like Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. We go out. We didn't have to get no tables or anything. There was always like women and men. Like men would openly talk to women. If they get shot down, they move on. And then like by the end of the night, you dance. Like, look, my closing rate on that wasn't very high, but I remember days, we go out, whoever, everybody, and we get lucky and just have a bunch of girls like come back to the crib with smoke or drink or do whatever. I'm not saying like everybody's having sex and shit. That's not what's happening, but I'm just saying like, we make some new friends. Let's put it that way.
Well, and I'll tell you what it is.
Comfortable being around guys who they just met.
I'll tell you what I think it is, at least, and I'm sounding like a broken record, but it's accessibility, right? So you can go out. When we used to go back in the day, I remember when I first started going out to the club, we used to make sure somebody had a pen, somebody had something we could write with, because back in the day you had to get the number, you had to write it down. It was more of a personal type of thing. And so you might not know if you're gonna see this girl again. You might not know whatever the situation is, right? That was like in your mind, right? And then it progressed. We had cell phones, right? But you still was like, hey, you trying to get that number, right? Now, if you recognize a friend she's with or this, that, and the other, somebody could find you on Instagram. Somebody could find you on Facebook. So people now,
I told you I found that deaf girl. Remember?
Yeah, they know they can reach you, right? If they know your name, right? They could look, like now it's not like it would fade away. Back in the day, we'd be like, yo, where you from? Like, you'd ask questions like, hey, where'd you go to school? Blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, you don't even need to ask that. Even when you meet
what's your
somebody.
IG? What's your IG?
Yeah. What's your Snap? And then basically, yeah.
What is Snapchat? What does Snapchat do? I mean, I know Snapchat, but like, what the fuck am I going to gain by following you on Snapchat?
But that's why it's so different now, because we don't have any humanity in the way that we deal with each other. Everything's based on likes and followers and situations, whatever, right? Like who you can see how many people you're connected with, they're connected with automatically. Like, okay, cool. Like before you get to know somebody, right, and be like, hey, who's your friends? And you kind of commingle and you go out together and you kind of learn each other. Now people's going on your friends' Facebook, they're going on your friends'
Instagram. Find out all the information.
They're seeing who your friends are, they're seeing who your family is, they're seeing who your everything. So behind the scenes, they're not even really needing to talk to you. Yeah.
But I used to criticize my wife. So she has in the beginning when we first started dating, had no social media presence. She has some pictures online. She has a very unique name. So I Googled her and I found some pictures and stuff. But her Instagram, 0 posts, right? She's a follower. She looks at people's stuff. Facebook, very little exposure, maybe a couple pictures here and there, nothing crazy. And I was like, that's kind of weird. I thought she was weird. Now I'm like, I went through my Instagram recently. I was taking down some of this crazy shit I used to post. Dog, and I was like, nah, this gotta go. This gotta go. This gotta go. Really? Like, and I think, I mean, no, obviously some people just post whatever, but at the end of the day, like, I feel like, it's so, like, social media is in this weird space where it's so ingrained in our lives now, and I think there's gonna be like maybe a bigger separation where like now it's not gonna be so much a part of our lives as it is gonna be complementary to our lives, if that makes sense. Like it's grown to a point where a whole generation grew up with it, right? Like my nieces, they were around like Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Like my one niece, she literally grew up with all that stuff around her. And she has a group of friends that she talks to, but they use those things as like utilities, like to send messages, right? And they use other things like Telegram and obviously Snapchat. But they, like, instead of talking on the phone, which they do, it's like they're literally talking on the phone. They're playing games together, doing all this stuff. But it's no different than you and me playing like Sega or Super Nintendo or PlayStation after school, right? And going over each other's houses. It's just on these phones now and tablets, which is, I find interesting because does it mess with their heads? I don't know. I mean, you're still engaging with another human, but like that interaction that you make, like you talk about the Roblox with the kids and the Roblox and all that stuff. Is it, you meet these strangers on there and you become friends? That's weird to me. I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, okay, this is a faceless, nameless person. How do you know it's not a child molester or kidnap? You have to be wary of those things. I think kids are smarter nowadays, they don't fall into those traps, and parents are brighter and don't let them fall into it. But, there's so much. I mean, this could be another episode, another topic you can talk about, but social media is just crazy. And again, OnlyFans, genius thing. I'm a big supporter of it. I don't subscribe. I support the business model. You can look at my credit card statements. There is no OnlyFans.
He said, look at all the statements, all of them.
My wife has access to my credit card statements. There is no spicy content, none of that nonsense on.
He uses Apple Pay, guys. Apple Pay.
I wonder what it comes up as on Apple Pay and stuff like that. I know it's kind of some random shit.
It comes up oldest trick in the book. Congratulations.
Anywho. We got enough spicy content for this thing. Let's I like saying that, spicy content. That's the name of this episode. Anyway, anybody got anything else to say? I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Lauren, thank you for your insights.
Yes, thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, we'll I mean, look.
I have my light next time, so this will be.
Oh yeah. Lauren got good light.
I'm gonna try to do a little better. It's cool.
Yeah, you got like a good vibe going over there.
Yeah, you got nice, good lighting.
Yeah.
I like the lighting in your room there. But now we're gonna it'll get better. I mean, as we become more friendly and understanding. Like I said, I'm just gonna say more off the wall. I was holding it back tonight. Well, Sean knows the way I can go in, but you know.
And I'm also open up more. This is new to me. But
No.
Your comfort zone is your comfort zone. I'm not gonna message you too much because that could have been on some shit when we were talking about OnlyFans.
That was great topics. Great topics.
Next thing again this once. But okay, cool. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you. Next week you'll have another. All right, episode 2 in the can. See y'all next week. Bye.
All right, people.
Bye.